Yeah, look, I mean, as many of you will know, anything that has the name Aussie Villain attached to it just exudes excellence and professionalism. So, no, I mean, I'm really not surprised that we're battling at the front of Formula One after such little time. Hey guys, I'm Aussie Villain and welcome back to Aussie Villain Racing. Today on the back of two back-to-back double points finishes, we're at Imola and another track with lots of fast corners that might actually suit the car again. So it's looking very, very good right now. We're currently sitting 5th in the Constructors, only 4 points, or 3 points I should say, behind Mercedes. I think you can just about see that behind my head. We are a mile ahead of RB. Absolute mile. The board only wants us to finish 9th. So as I sort of mentioned in previous episodes, we're just looking towards next year's car at this point. If we beat Mercedes, brilliant. I don't necessarily expect it. Oh, but the board doesn't want it. I don't see, and let me know what you guys are thinking in the comments. I don't really see a point in going all out trying to get 4th this year when we can put research into next year's car and maybe actually challenge for race wins and who knows, maybe even a title, depending on how much effort, you know, Red Bull, McLaren, Ferrari start putting into next year's car as well. So, yeah, that's my thoughts right now. Both drivers are rated 79, so they're both still improving, which is good. And, yeah, the car, we've had 2 weeks since last race, so we've been able to, we haven't done any more research, but we've got everything more or less manufactured now. So the spare parts are in a pretty good spot. We need underfloors. There'll be one coming sort of midway through the race weekend, so if we have an accident, it'll be there to be, you know, be there to use for the race. Otherwise, we're pretty good to go, and we're manufacturing another chassis as well, so that'll be that'll sort of top up those numbers. So yeah, pretty pleased with how it goes. If we go and have a look at this particular track that's upcoming, we're sort of just outside the points, maybe the 6th best team on the grid for this race. I think we'll do better though. I think we're okay. Now, if we go and have a quick look at Imola, it's not a good race in terms of you know, the actual quality of the racing, but it is a great track. It really, really is. Red is sector 1, blue sector 2, yellow sector 3. Sections by speed. And you can see what I mean. There's lots of sort of fast, medium speed corners, and that helps us. What won't help us is this. this very, very long front straight that is going to hurt us, but I think the rest of the lap should suit us not too badly. Car attributes, as you can see, top speed is not what we have, but cornering, we're okay there, so that should help us. 28-second pit stop loss. That means you don't really want to be making any extra stops because it's a massive pit loss here, and the soft tire is only 0.6 of it, or half a second even faster than the hard tire. You're not going to make it up. So there's not really too much need to do it. Norris won here last year in our world, so let's see if we can. Well, it doesn't really matter because that's not particularly our race right now, is it? 18th is something we should be able to do with our eyes closed. So we'll do that, and we'll head off to Imola. So, clear skies, that's excellent, and for the first time, not a sprint weekend in a couple of episodes, so I've got lots of time to get the strategy right, the setup right, I should say, and I'll do that and see you for qualifying. Okay, so we've done free practice, and it's gone fine. The only issue that we had, Jack Doohan damaged the underfloor. Of course he did, so we had to manufacture an emergency manufacture one, but that's okay. So 7th in FP1, 11th for Stoffel, which is fine. You can see there's a few of the academy drivers are in there, affiliate drivers. It was 7th and 8th in FP2, which is amazing. And then if we go to FP3, it was 7th and 8th again. So that all looks, you know, consistently promising. And given that we haven't put in new engines or whatnot yet either, or sort of just the free practice engines, cautiously optimistic, I've got to say. Very cautiously optimistic. Or, yeah. Anyway, Q1 should be fine. Let's just go and make sure of that though. So absolutely fine. We did do a second run with Doohan. His first lap wasn't brilliant, but same set of tyres, and he popped it up there in 6th. Van Dorn on just the one run was down there in 11th. So Denny Rick out in an RB is going to be a bit of a surprise, I think. But both Aston Martins at the back. Only one Haas and one Sauber's gone out. So in an Alpine as well. That's different. Anyway, let's go to Q2. Okay, so we are on board with Van Dorn. I'm a little bit worried here. Doohan has got himself too close to the back of this Haas in front. But anyway, Doohan is currently 9th. Van Dorn 6th. On that was on, of course, their used tyres. I was tempted, very tempted to not run Van Dorn again and save that set of tyres. But I just thought half a second might be a little bit too close. So I decided against keeping him in, but in hindsight, we could have got away with it. Now, Doohan needs to go quicker here. He's in a little bit of trouble. Is anybody going... What's Tsunoda doing right now? Tsunoda has finished his lap, so I think Doohan's actually going to be okay here. O'Ward in front is probably putting in a good lap because he's not pulled away from us, but we're ahead of both Ferraris again and into Q3. Alright, so Q3 obviously we've done our first runs, 6th and 7th. Now we've got Hamilton a little bit ahead of us. I'm hoping that we're close enough to get a little bit of a draft down that front straight, but not close enough that it gets the dirty air through the rest of the lap. No, so we've gone yellow on our new tyres. So excellent work, boys. It would be very nice to stay ahead of Leclerc. There's a big gap, though, between Hamilton and Leclerc. So I suspect either we can go quicker, which we're not, or perhaps more realistically, we're going to see Leclerc pop in a lap. So Doohan's done a green middle sector. We're still on board with Van Dorn. Let's see, does Hamilton go any quicker? He doesn't. Stoff doesn't. Doohan doesn't. So where's Leclerc? Is he... Oh, he's cruising. So it looks like it is going to be 6th and 7th. And ahead of both Mercedes. So are we sort of the equal... Well, Hamilton's quite a bit quicker, but we're sort of the 3rd or 4th best team here. Oh no, Pourchaire's popped in a lap. So I mean, you look at this, and we're definitely in a battle with Ferrari and Mercedes to be the 3rd best team in Formula 1. That's amazing. All right, let's go to this race. Now, it is unfortunately one of these where the strategy just kind of is what it is, because you don't want to push the tyres too much. We're pretty good at saving the tyres if we stay off the high curbs, but I don't think... Yeah, the only thing I'm tempted to do is start on a hard and then finish on a soft. But I think what's going to happen if you do that, it's the old undercut thing, isn't it? Because we're going to be on, if we're on old hards and everybody's on new mediums, we're just going to lose out too much. So I don't really see another way around it other than to, go this way. So we'll take off 3 laps of fuel maybe, because that worked out okay for us in Miami, though there is less chance of a safety car here than there is in Miami. So, all right. Let's see if we can double points finish. Should be very nice. We 6th and 8th. We're certainly in the ballpark for that, aren't we? All right, so here we go. Look at these cars lined up there right at the front. It's so nice, isn't it, compared to last season where, you know, we were genuinely just scrapping around trying to get anything. Like, you know, 12th was a great result, and here we are now. If we got 12th, it'd be a bit of a disaster. So, yeah, really pleased with the progress that we've made. Let's jump on board here. And we've got Doohan ahead of Van Dorn for now. Is that a hard tyre in front? No. So there's a couple of softs, couple of hards towards the back, but generally speaking, it looks like everybody is on the same strategy. So if we can hang on to these front 5, who, based on qualifying pace, are the class of the field, if we can hang on to them for as long as possible, try and break away from the Mercedes and the Ferrari behind us in an ideal world. If not, yeah, well then we'll be in a battle with them, won't we? But if we can try and stay, we're just clinging on for now. Looks like Hamilton is just trying his best to hang on as well. The Red Bull and Mercedes are definitely a step ahead of everybody. So our race realistically is probably Hamilton. In 5th there, but if his qualifying pace is what he's got in the race as well, then we're no chance of that either. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. We're just outside of DRS now. He's kicked on a little bit, so we'll jump back into sort of conservation mode here now that DRS is gone, and start and play the long game. But it definitely looks as though we're going to be in a race for yeah, for 6th and 7th. That's, I think, our main goal for this one. Alright, so the race, it is kind of going how qualifying suggested it would. We've got the front 4 a mile in front. You can see them there. Great race for the neutral. Then we've got Hamilton sort of in his, a little bit of what has usually been the Stoff Island. And then we've got ourselves, if we go to an off-board, you can kind of see there's a bit of a train. Both of AVRs. Both Mercedes and Charles Leclerc and the other Ferrari. So yeah, very much sort of 3 races in the race for the points. So we've just got to try and make sure that we're top of this one. And so far we're doing a decent job. Although Pourchaire is trying to put a move on Van Dorn. Is he going to get that done? No, he's not. So yeah, it's yeah, like I say, just a race of 5 for the points with the 2 RBs, not was it an RB and a Williams, not a mile back. So yeah, good one, good race, but a little bit spread out as well. Alright, so another 10 laps into the race, and still nothing really has changed. We are a little bit slower than Hamilton. We're a little bit closer than we've been on previous laps there, in truth. But yeah, there's no... It's just the race that we're in right now, where it's still the same. Is it this way? Yeah, it's still exactly the same. We're maybe spreading out just a little bit from the other 3. But this happens, and then we'll get the DRS down here. Everybody will close up again. The AVR cars will switch positions, and we go again for another lap. And this is literally, it's been 21 laps now of this. So, oh, we've got a little bit of a sneaky look by Porsche there. But yeah, it's the biggest thing we're going to have now is who comes in to stop first, because obviously we can't double stack. So, my thought is that we can probably get pretty good life out of the hard tyres if we are sort of avoiding the curbs and whatnot. The problem that we have had is keeping tyre temps in. I've had to sort of every now and again tell them to stop avoiding the curbs to get the temperature back into the tyres, so that so that they're not cold. So that's the issue that we're having. But yeah, we're going to have to make... Yeah, you can just see there we've gone back to cold tyres, so we'll take that off. Dylan's going to have to do it soon, so we'll preempt that. And yeah, I'm tempted to say one of them. We're not quite in the window yet, so we've got to be a little bit careful, I suppose. I'm tempted to bring someone in early. The issue is that we're not going to catch Hamilton or anything in front. We're 10 seconds behind. That's a big undercut. So, yeah, it is just a little bit difficult right now to know exactly when to bring them in. We have been recharging the batteries, so it might be a case of wait for the guys behind us to stop. I mean, only one Mercedes can stop. If they double stack them, then they're going to screw themselves. So it might be a case of wait for one of them to stop, deploy, yeah, and then we're going to there could be a 2-lap difference though with one of our cars. So we'll see what we get, but. Yeah, I mean, it's close. It is, it would be a cracking race to watch on TV, I imagine. But yeah, there's not actually, although cars are going back and forth past each other, there's not actually a great deal happening, if you know what I mean. It's just sort of instant replay lap after lap. Okay, so we are on Van Dorn's in lap. Dorn will be coming in next lap. We are just threatening to pull away from the cars behind us as well. So I think what we will do is we will deploy Duan. He'll get the DRS down the straight, and we can see we're just starting to pull out of the DRS for Porsche. So we'll deploy Duan this lap. We will get Van Dorn in the pits, and Porsche is stopped as well. So I've almost timed that to perfection, in truth. Off on go. It's a 2.5, which is nice. Porsche still behind us. Norris up front as well has got a little bit of a issue. So hopefully, from our point of view, that gets a little bit worse. So let's go and attack. We'll put avoid high risk curbs back on after, and we've got it. Yeah, we've continued that gap to Porsche, which is nice. So here we go now with Duan. What do we get from us this time around? And Bottas is in as well. Let's hope we can stay ahead of the Mercedes. Well, one thing, we will be moving way back at the pit lane for next. Oh, it's not a good one. We're a second slower. Thankfully, we have managed to stay ahead of Bottas, but by how much? As Porsche has got past us. Well, that is not what we needed at all. So we've lost out there. We will have to use the battery to try and get back to the front of, to the back of these guys. But we're under big pressure, and he's got past as well. So, yeah, that's not really worked out for us particularly well, has it? Although we do have, where's Bottas? Bottas is quite a ways back. And Leclerc is in. Now, have we put some distance between ourselves and Leclerc as well? It looks like we may have. He's 4 seconds back as well. So we've dropped 2. It's now AVR versus Porsche. We've got a bit of history of Porsche this season, don't we? So let's hope we can put one over him. Alright, so Porsche has just decided he's going to try and take off, so we're going to try and chase him down. We did have a full battery with Van Dorn, and he should bring Doohan with him. That is certainly the hope and plan. We've essentially saved all the fuel we need to save to get back to, to save up the 3 laps that we short-filled. And yeah, I think Porsche has just used a bit of battery to get away, because it looks like we are coming back at him now. Doohan might just need to use a bit of battery to stay with Van Dorn, but Van Dorn is running back in, and that is that is all good. So not that there was ever a crisis, but whatever crisis there was is now over. Now Doohan just try and catch the back of them. He doesn't have a full battery, unfortunately, so that is slightly problematic for him. We are ever so slightly reining in Hamilton. Yeah, it looks like he's just pulled back out a little bit. I dare say he's got everything well and truly under control. And you'll notice too there's a 7-second gap back to Bottas and Leclerc. So it's 6th, 7th and 8th that we're racing for. Yeah, Doohan is maybe just struggling to keep up with the 2 in front on the hard tyre here though, which is a little bit upsetting. But we'll take an 8th for Doohan, won't we, if we get 6th with Van Dorn. So another check-in, and still not much has changed. Again, Porsche tried to pull away from us, so Doohan had a bit more battery, so we sent him after him just to make sure he doesn't get away. Van Dorn will just close back up the gap, because I think essentially, I do think we've got him covered. It's just, yeah, I think the DRS is what is sort of keeping him with us right now, because you can see we pulled away a mile from Bottas and Leclerc. So if we look at Porsche's tyre life, he's being harder on his tyres than what we are. So my plan is, again, charge up the batteries. About 2 laps from home, we'll just go. And I'm pretty confident that we should be able to stay ahead of him. So that's where we're at. Like I say, it's not that it's a bad race. It's just the same thing lap after lap. And yeah, it's... maybe we might have a little bit of hope. Norris's problem's getting worse. Verstappen has a problem as well. If they were to both go out, we'd be looking at a 4th, and that would be a new best, a new career best for the team and for Doohan or Porsche or Van Dorn, whoever gets it. So yeah, it could get even more exciting if this one keeps going the way it's going. Oh, we're going to cook these tyres if we're not careful. Alright, so I think what we're going to do, I'm a little bit worried that we might get lapped, so I don't want to leave this too late, is we're going to try and blow Porsche away now. We lost about 2 seconds to him through traffic, and we caught him back up quite quickly. So I am fairly confident that we're going to be able to pull away from him relatively quickly here. We'll sort of burn the battery, hopefully break the DRS, and yeah, let's hope that the Verstappen and Norris mechanical faults maybe do get just that little bit worse. But we're just on the precipice of breaking the DRS for this lap, and I think if we do that, then that could be that. Yeah, he's outside. So we'll do 1 lap of sort of full push, and then we'll just sort of settle in and let the 2 guys sort out for themselves who wants 6th and who wants 7th. Hopefully they don't crash into each other, but we'll trust them not to do that. And yeah, you can see 2.5 seconds that we've pulled out already. So yeah, that is all absolutely fine. In fact, we could probably, at 3 seconds in front, even just save a bit of battery, so we've got it to the end. There's no point killing ourselves here, boys. We've killed him off, so we can now just cruise to the end, really. And if we go a lap down, just fault, is it worse? No, it's not. So yeah, this is Van Dorn, and to show you, Piastri is there, so he's not a mile behind, sort of half the front straight. He's catching us at about 1 second a lap. So with 3 laps to go, he's probably not going to catch us, but he might. So yeah, that's why I wanted to just get Piastri, get Porsche out of the way, so that we didn't find ourselves on a lap short than what we thought we had. So yeah, happy days, happy days. Alright, so we are coming around to start our final lap, and we're going to let the gloves come off here, and we'll see who comes out on top. Now, Van Dorn's at a disadvantage, not only because he's in front here, but because his tyre life wasn't as good, so we very much had to sort of back him off. Porsche has been lapped and finished the line, finished the race, so we are going to finish 6th and 7th. We cannot, even if they take each other out, be any worse than that. So, yeah, we can race to the end here. I'm not sure who this is in front, but it looks as though Doohan is he's just in a better position. He stopped that lap later, and yeah, it sort of enabled him to have the better tyre life. So there we go. It is going to be a 6th and 7th finish. Doohan with back-to-back 6th places, I think. Oh no, he was 5th in Miami, wasn't he? Anyway, massive points, and we're gonna overtake Mercedes here. So Doohan holds position, Van Dorn up 1, and that's another 14 points to Mercedes 5, and yeah, that's going to move us ahead, I'm sure. So in 8th and 9th in the drivers, we are catching Bottas quite quickly, which is very nice. And the constructors, there we are. We are 4th in the constructors. I wonder if Mercedes has moved their focus to next year as well at this point. We even outscored Ferrari there. So huge. We were the 3rd best team that weekend. Pit stops, yeah, we didn't have a particularly good one. So we're sort of losing pace a little bit there. I don't know what the reason for it is. We weren't terrible with Van Dorn, and Doohan had a bit of a mistake. So maybe just one of those things. So our tour centre has been refurbished back to level 5. So that's excellent. And next up, it is Monaco. Now, Monaco might actually be an okay track for us, because we don't have top speed anyway, and we're pretty good in corners. So we'll see. Now, F3 was racing. Let's have a look and see how our boys did. Anything. So Imola, also 4th for Christian Mansell in the main race. Montoya was 5th. And where is Arvid Lindblad? He was up 4 into 21st. The sprint race, where are we here? So it was 3rd for Montoya on the podium. Mansell was 4th. And Lindblad was struggling. He was down there in 21st again. And qualifying, where did we qualify? It was Mansell 4th, Montoya 7th, and Arvid Lindblad, I just realised my head's in the way here, isn't it? He was 25th. So, we've got 2 good ones. and Lindblad, to be fair to Lindblad, he is only 17, I think. So, there's still, how old is he? 17. So, he's got a long, long time yet. But yeah, that's good. We might even start to look at giving Mansell some time in the car in free practices. Where is he in the? He's leading the championship. Huge, absolutely massive. And yeah, Ramos is 5th. So excellent. Yeah, I think Mansell might be worth an FP1. Maybe not Monaco, but maybe a weekend where F3 isn't racing. Let me know what you think. Maybe we stick him in for an FP1. Anyway, guys, if you've enjoyed that, thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in Monaco. Take care.